I think most economic ideas are bad ideas. If you see the world as a scalar, you simply pick the one number which supports whatever you want to do, and you ignore the universe of other consequences from your behavior. Take us back to MIT, and you want to solve a fluid dynamics problem, like design the shape of the hull of that ship. Or you want to design an airfoil, a wing. Or if you want to design an engine or a nozzle in a rocket ship, you wouldn't do it with simple arithmetic. You wouldn't do it with a scalar. There's not a single number, right? It's vector math. Computational fluid dynamics is n-dimensional, higher level math, complicated stuff. When an economist says the inflation rate is 2%, that's a scalar. And when an economist says it's not a problem to print more money because the velocity of the money is very low, monetary velocity is low, that's another scalar. The truth of the matter is, inflation is not a scalar. Inflation is an n-dimensional vector. Money velocity is not a scalar. Saying what's the velocity of money? Oh, it's slow or it's fast. It ignores the question of what medium is the money moving through. But money is it's a store of value, a unit of account, a medium of exchange, and then there's a fourth characteristic that we don't talk about. It's the thing that's not said. It's a system of control. Certain monies are easier to control than others. For example, we talk about gold as money, but you ever try to carry a gold bar through an airport? They won't let you through, right? In fact, if you tried to carry $100,000 of gold through an airport, not only would you not get through, but the assumption would be you're a criminal, you stole the gold, and they would just take it and keep it without a court order. Now, try to carry $100,000 of cash through the airport. You ever try that? Put it in a bag and just, you can put it in a bag, and as you're walking through the TSA check or the X-ray machine, just nonchalantly say to the officer, I'm carrying $100,000 of money onto the airplane, right? You won't get through. Now, not only will you not get through, they'll just take your money, right? They'll just take it, and the assumption will be you stole it. So cash is a unit of control. Now, put $100,000 in a bank and try to wire it to someone, or just take it out and they're going to ask you why. Tell them it's none of their business. Try to send it to someone privately. Tell them you just want to send it to a numbered Swiss bank account, right? See how that works. That won't work, right? That's a system of control. Then if you look at the contribution of John D. Rockefeller, when he delivered you a barrel of oil, and the energy in oil, liquid energy, or the contribution of Tesla as we deliver electricity. And what's the impact on the human condition if I have electric power, if I have chemical power, if I have wind energy, if I can actually set up a reservoir, create a dam, spin a turbine, and generate energy from a hydraulic source? That's extraordinary, right? And so our ability to cross the ocean, our ability to grow food, our ability to live, it's technology that gets the human race from a brutal life where life expectancy is 30 to a world where life expectancy is 80. I'm going to say you should have 1,000 square foot apartment, and you should have a used car, and you should eat 3 hamburgers a week. Now 10 years go by and the apartment costs more. I could adjust the market basket by we call them hedonic adjustments. I could decide that it used to be in 1970 you needed 1,000 square feet, but in the year 2020 you only need 700 square feet because we've miniaturized televisions and we've got more efficient electric appliances, and because things have collapsed into the iPhone, you just don't need as much space. Now, it may be that the apartment costs 50% more, but after the hedonic adjustment, there is no inflation because I just downgraded the expectation of what a normal person should have. In the conventional economic world, you would treat inflation as the rate of increase in price of a market basket of consumer products defined by a government agency. I guess my criticism of economists is rather than embracing inflation based upon its fundamental idea, which is the rate at which the price of things go up, right? They've been captured by mainstream conventional thinking to immediately equate inflation to the government-issued CPI or government-issued PCE or government-issued PPI measure, which was never the rate at which things go up. It's simply the rate at which a synthetic basket of products and services the government wishes to track go up. Now, the problem with that is two big things. One thing is the government gets to create the market basket, and so they keep changing what's in the basket over time. I mean, if I said 3 years ago you should go see 10 concerts a year and the concert tickets now cost $200 each, now it's $2,000 a year to go see concerts. Now I'm in charge of calculating inflation. I redefine your entertainment quota for the year to be 8 Netflix streaming concerts, and now they don't cost $2,000, they cost nothing, and there is no inflation, but you don't get your concerts, right? The problem starts with continually changing the definition of the market basket. But in my opinion, that's not the biggest problem. The more egregious problem is the fundamental idea that assets aren't products or services. Assets can't be inflated.
What's an asset?
A house, a share of Apple stock, a bond, a Bitcoin is an asset. Every time a politician wants to ban guns, there's an explosion in demand to buy guns, right? And so talk about CBDCs really as a marketing event that causes everyone to think about a world where they don't own their own money. And that makes them think, well, what kind of money could I acquire that I would own? And the most censorship-resistant monetary network in the world is Bitcoin. Interest in CBDCs is just going to drive more feverish interest in Bitcoin. It's actually having awareness, and Bitcoin is growing as people become more aware that they need something which is non-sovereign, store of value, nation-state resistant. And if there's hyperinflation, people want Bitcoin. That's why they are thinking about Bitcoin in Argentina or in Nigeria or anywhere in Africa right now. If there's moderate inflation, people that are sensitive to it will go for Bitcoin, and then the people that think the inflation will go away will look at it as an oddity. A couple of stable coins have been getting shut down. Paxos's BUSD got a Wells notice. They got shut down, and Custodia tried to launch a bank, and they wanted to issue AVITs. AVITs were digital dollars, and they were digital dollars that were going to circulate on crypto networks. And the regulators denied that banking license, and it's about a 70-page denial letter, very articulate. And if you dig into that denial letter, which is very well written and articulate, what is very clear is the regulators say we're not going to allow the bank to form because we don't want someone to issue digital dollars that will circulate on crypto networks non-KYC. Evading our our anti-money laundering rules, our anti-terrorism rules, our know your customer rules. It's clear that the regulators object with prejudice the idea that you can circulate large sums of dollars without reporting that. Now, that's a political football, right? Because a lot of people in this country think that you should own your own money and you should have financial privacy and you ought to be able to do what you want with your money. There's another group of people that don't agree, right? Ted Cruz is on the side of freedom. You ought to own your own money. Now, it turns out that if your money's in a bank, you're not going to be able to circulate it freely. It's controlled. And on the other hand, Bitcoin is the one network you can't control. Ted Cruz's famous line is, I like Bitcoin for the same reason the Chinese don't like it. They can't control it. Nobody can control Bitcoin. If you're insecure about being able to own your own money, do you own it? And can you actually use it without asking somebody's permission? Then the solution is not gold, it's not silver coins, is not stacks of cash. It's not money in a bank in the US. It's certainly not money in a bank in Lebanon, Argentina, anywhere in Africa. Those banks won't let you take your money out of the bank. Go look at Nigeria, $42 a day. That's how much you can take out of the bank. They're keeping your money. So one network that you have that gives you a decent chance of owning your own money and then being able to spend it the way you want is Bitcoin.